By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why gas stations look like money machines from the outside and why almost nobody tells you the truth about what's actually happening on the inside. Gorilla didn't know either. Gorilla had to learn it the hard way. Gorilla saw a gas station on the highway, cars lined up, lights glowing, money apparently just happening. Gorilla thought, people need fuel every single day. This is not a business. This is a printing press with a roof. Gorilla bought the station that same week, signed the papers with the confidence of a man who has never read papers. Gorilla imagined mornings sipping coffee, watching numbers rise. Bamboo in one hand, profit in the other. Freedom, basically. Passive income with a nice little bell that goes ding when customers walk in. The first day, Gorilla stood proudly behind the counter, chest slightly puffed, almost regal. A car pulled in, filled up, paid. Gorilla did the maths in his head, multiplied that by 100 cars, multiplied that by a year. Gorilla nearly fainted from imaginary wealth. Then the fuel delivery truck arrived, and Gorilla met his first real teacher, the invoice. The invoice did not care about Gorilla's dreams. The invoice was long, aggressive, personal somehow. Turns out, the fuel Gorilla sells for one price costs him almost the same price to buy. The margin, that beautiful glowing word Gorilla had heard in business videos, turned out to be smaller than a single bamboo leaf. Gorilla stared at the number for a long time, blinked twice, looked outside at the sign glowing, open 24 hours, suddenly feeling personally attacked by his own sign. Somewhere in there, Gorilla noticed a balloon behind the counter. Big, round, cheerful. Someone had left it from the grand opening. It said "Profit" on it in bold letters. Gorilla liked that balloon immediately. It felt like a mascot, a promise. Then came electricity bills. The pumps needed power, the lights needed power. The little fridge full of energy drinks apparently needed power too, and also judgment, because nobody bought the energy drinks. Then came the generator, because the electricity, being modern electricity, occasionally just left. No warning, no apology. Just darkness and a dead pump and a queue of very unimpressed cars. Gorilla bought a generator to fight electricity's mood swings. The generator itself needed fuel to run, which meant Gorilla was now buying fuel to make electricity to sell fuel. Gorilla read that sentence back 3 times and still didn't feel better about it. Gorilla sat down slowly. The balloon watched. Then came the 2-cent problem. The gas station down the road dropped their price by 2 cents. 2 cents. Gorilla treated this like a national emergency. Gorilla called an emergency meeting with himself, stood in front of the pricing sign like a general in front of a war map, pointed at the numbers, paced, beat his chest once, briefly, dramatically, then immediately looked around to check if anyone saw. 2 cents. That was the whole crisis. 2 cents, and Gorilla was drawing battle plans on a napkin, complete with arrows and underlines, and one word circled twice. War. The balloon deflated slightly. Nobody noticed yet. Then came the employees. Gorilla hired a night shift worker so he could finally sleep. The freedom he'd dreamed of. Bamboo at midnight. Peace. Except the night guy called at 2 a.m. Every single time something happened. Card machine broken. Customer arguing about a receipt. A raccoon, somehow, inside the store, sitting near the chips like a paying customer, patient, unbothered, clearly a regular now. Gorilla stopped sleeping through the night. Gorilla started sleeping through the day instead, which technically counts, but nobody was proud of it. The balloon deflated a little more. Still nobody noticed. Everyone was too busy panicking about the raccoon. Then came the customers who wanted things Gorilla never agreed to. Free air for tires, free water for radiators, free advice about engines Gorilla had never opened in his life. One man asked Gorilla to just look at it, and somehow expected the car to be fixed by eye contact alone. Gorilla started saying, "Let me check about everything," mostly to buy time to think of a real answer. Then came the paperwork. Taxes, licenses, permits, inspection forms that appeared out of nowhere, demanding attention like distant relatives at a wedding, the kind who only show up when there's a free meal involved. Gorilla's counter, once clean and hopeful, slowly disappeared under paper. Gorilla began working from a tiny, visible corner of desk, like a man trapped in his own filing cabinet, occasionally waving from behind a mountain of forms just to prove he was still alive back there. Somewhere in the chaos, Gorilla forgot to eat his bamboo. Just forgot. Left it sitting there, untouched, next to a pile of receipts taller than the register. That's when Gorilla knew something was wrong. Bamboo was supposed to be the one constant, the calm. And now even the bamboo felt like one more responsibility, waiting in line, taking a number, filling out its own permit to be eaten. Gorilla picked it up, chewed it slowly, tasted absolutely nothing, just texture, just motion. The taste, like the balloon, had quietly left the building. Every day became the same rhythm. Wake up, check fuel prices, check competitors' fuel prices. Beat chest lightly out of habit, not even anger anymore, just muscle memory. Check the generator, check the raccoon situation, sign something, repeat. Gorilla started calculating profit not in dollars, but in how many disasters did not happen today. A good day wasn't, we made money. A good day was, nothing exploded, nobody yelled, the pump didn't jam, and the balloon is still technically floating. The balloon, by the way, was now hovering just above the counter. Sad, wrinkled, barely holding on. Nobody had the heart to throw it away. It had seen too much. It had earned its place there, honestly. Like a war veteran, nobody wanted to retire. One night, Gorilla sat outside the station, alone, watching cars fill up under the buzzing lights, watching people pay, nod, leave, without a single thought about what it took to keep those lights on. They didn't see the invoices. They didn't see the generator quietly eating its own fuel just to make more fuel. They didn't see the 2-cent war room, or the raccoon negotiations, or the bamboo that had lost its flavor somewhere around week 3. They just saw fuel. Simple, available, normal. A button pressed, a nozzle clicked, a receipt printed, a car driven away into a life that had no idea any of this cost Gorilla his sleep. Gorilla realized something quietly, sitting there in the dark. This is what running things actually looks like. Not fireworks, not a dramatic collapse, just a slow, invisible tax on your peace, paid in small installments every single day, until one day you look up and you don't remember the last time you tasted your own bamboo. Nobody claps for the days nothing goes wrong. Nobody sees the version of success that just means survived. Nobody films the quiet Tuesday where the generator didn't break and the raccoon stayed outside and the 2 cents didn't matter after all. Gorilla looked at the balloon one more time. It finally let go, floating gently to the ceiling, tired, but still technically up there. Still, somehow, floating. Gorilla smiled a little. Small, tired, honest smile. Maybe that's what profit actually looks like, most of the time. Not big, not loud, just barely staying up. Just still floating, one careful day after another. Gorilla beat his chest once, softer this time. Not for war, not for stress, just release. Then Gorilla went back inside, sat behind the counter, and finally, quietly, tasted the bamboo again. And for the first time in weeks, it tasted like something.